Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terri-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive. I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, one of the co-creators of Connections 50 Plus. And as usual with me is my colleague.
And we're right here. I am Terri-Ann Joseph Brathwaite, the other co-creator of Connections 50 Plus. And Jennifer and I cozy on a couch.
You're seeing something. You want to know how come we together like this? A visiting.
I mean, everybody's going back to work, Jennifer. People are going back to the office. Not everybody's staying digital. So every now and again, we get together and we connect. So, hey, we're back to the office.
You know, I was telling Terri-Ann, for those of you all who used to follow us from the very start, when we were doing Facebook Live. This is how we did it.
Yeah.
You know, we got together and then we had the guests and the guests will sit in the center and that's how we started.
No, but we were two chairs crouch up.
Yeah.
We're on a couch now.
So, you know, this reminded us of, you know, when we started. So it's good to be together and chatting, you know. So I'm not at home and Terri-Ann at her home.
Yes. But you know, it's something that all of us need to focus on.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you have to still get together and get connected. And sometimes we are planning for something. You will hear about our plans. And you just have to get together and socialize and do things. So
yeah, so this was a visit.
We have a hybrid function.
And we decided, look, let's do our show one time. So thanks for joining us. So Terri-Ann, what happened for you over the weekend?
Oh, over this weekend, girl, I don't know what happened. I sleep. Oh no, I went to a show.
You did?
Yes, I know you had babysitting duties.
Yeah.
And my dear friend from up your side, we went to see Nikki Crosby's show.
Oh, I
it
was
wanted
very
to go impromptu. But I knew you had grandbaby.
Yeah,
so I didn't bother. Yeah. So we just decided Saturday, then let's go.
I saw the reviews were quite good.
Yes. And it was right up our listen, she's talking about 50-ish is our issues.
That was nice.
You know, the other day I find a gray hair in my eyebrow, Jennifer. She was talking about finding gray hairs in odd places. Yeah. Well, you know, Nikki, just think where the gray hairs. I found a gray hair in my eyebrow. I don't know what to do with it. Pluck it, dye it. It was funny. But other than that, Jennifer, I slept and I remember what we were talking about last week when we talked about resilience and self-care. And how the body repairs itself. And I really do think this weekend, my body said, I have a lot of work to do, and I need you lying down and comatose for me to, I think we had a full renovation.
Yes.
Full pressure wash, scrape, paint, everything. It had scaffolding up and down in my body. So I just...
That's nice.
Yeah.
What I did, I actually went and signed up for my swimming course.
Oh,
yes.
great.
At my stage in life, I started, you know, swimming classes. And you see when that time come and they give you the stick, I don't know if they still do it, to jump in it. That is when my classes ended.
So when you're going to be swimming?
Right up by me there in Santa
Very
Rosa,
nice.
somewhere up that side.
Very good. Congratulations.
And listen, it was supposed to be 1 day a week. I said, I need 2 days a week. Let me just finish off this thing fast.
Yes.
So next show, I will tell you how my swimming, probably I'll do a little clip to show you.
Yes.
You're not too shame.
No, there's no shame in anything. And I know you were registered with a friend. So
Yeah,
you
of
have a
course
buddy.
I have a friend. I need
Yeah.
a friend to keep me sane.
No, man.
Okay, let's do it. You're not too old. And she said
course.
it's 2 old ladies going to learn to swim. So my instructor is quite nice and just, so I'm looking forward. I'm really looking forward for that.
Yeah. But Jennifer, we had in Trinidad and I think across the Caribbean, this is we lamented last week that hello, we're in the middle of October now.
Yeah.
And this is the last quarter, and for many of our economies, this is the beginning of the financial year. And you have the reading of the budget. And that causes a whole different
Telling you.
emotional. So we want to get into the reading of the budget. And so let's get into, long time we haven't done Dollar Savvy. So let's jump into Dollar Savvy and let's talk about the reading of the budget. So,
Terri-Ann, since the budget was read, you have a lot of course the different
talk shows.
I mean, which is what will normally happen, because you want the economists and the different professionals to analyze what was said and break it down, so we, the citizens, will better understand the budget, about the allocation, and if at all it would have any effect on us or not. But what I have found, whereas for the panel, those I listened to, the panelists, I got very good information. It really was able to clear up to me where we are now as a country without getting into politics, right? So I'm not going into politics. But the hard facts, what's happening in the world, how it is affecting us, exactly the plans, whether it will materialize or not, I'm not going there, but the actual plans for the country, how we're moving forward in spite of a lot of changes within the oil industry, etc., etc. So for me, I learned a lot. I appreciated what was said, but I found in terms of comments and those who in the call-in shows, that you just get so many negatives. People are just panicking. A lot of panic was, has been happening. Of course, from the call-in, you can't identify age, but from, people within our age group, the 5.8G, the 50 plus, when in terms of listening and hearing, saying, well, at this stage, I'm a pensioner. So they will say this, right? That I'm a pensioner, and pensions and go up. So what we will do? And then somebody will say, well, after I retire, my retirement money is not enough. So that's how I know when it is within our age group, by how they start the conversation. Is always either I'm a pensioner or this age in my life, or things like that. And always comes back to what we will do. How we gonna buy food? How we gonna put gas in the car? No, gas didn't go up, but you would swear gas went up, Terri-Ann. When people say, well, how we will do that? I can't go anywhere, So you get that panic within the tone, and what is being said is like a lot of frustration and hopelessness. And I wonder, is that fair? Because really and truly, I wonder whether for those who are not comfortable or panicking, I ask, have they really checked themselves, analyze it, or listen to what is being said?
Jennifer, I remember last week, I come back to that show on resilience. We talk about the rubber band.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we kept saying is, whose agenda is influencing you?
Yeah.
When you begin to react, or you receive information that causes you to believe things are not as they should be, and whatever it is, whose message are you listening to? And you know, I hear the conversations and I hear the panic, and I sit down and I tend to be a very rational person. I mean, you all should be a fly on the wall when Jennifer and I are planning these days, because if I can't find sense and logic in something, it's very hard for me to move forward. So sometimes I wonder, but what you all listen to, what, because this budget changed nothing. This budget was carrying on what has been happening since 2014, when the price of oil changed and we had to make adjustments. But you know, when I listened to some of the conversations and the worries and stuff like that, I realized it's just the reading of the budget created an occasion for people to express some anxieties that they have about probably not being properly prepared for this third act. Probably realizing that, okay, when I was a professional and I was growing up and I grew up in a boom, I have not made a lot of adjustments, or probably in the last 15 years of my life, I have spent a lot of money on some frivolities and some sorts of fancy. And now I have to really make an adjustment and a little anxious.
And I think too, I'm not saying we again are looking at our cohort. Many of us not too happy with the sacrifices we have to make, let me tell you. You know, you're accustomed enjoying a certain quality of life, as they say.
Jennifer, let us call the elephant in the room. The main sacrifices are around those people that came out of us and the people that came out of them.
So remember,
you children and grandchildren.
I find, and let me tell you, don't care where, shopping before, and I was giving some money, Joe. You shopping all the time and things going good because you have the money. Suddenly, since I have officially come off the I should say, you're retired, or this is retired,
pension,
and I'm on limited income, I find everything here. Everything expensive for me now, right? Going to the store.
You're not earning commission no more.
The prices may be the same and then shift. But let me share another thing. So I needed to change my glasses. And I went in, and of course I want, you want nice things. And they told me the price. I said, gosh, all. How much I paid last time? And the girl flipped back and she said, but it's about the same. Price did not go up. The price did not go up.
Your pension
She checked and she checked. She said, but this is actually was a little different because I think something cost a couple $100 different.
No, don't say a couple $100. Must be $100 and something dollars.
Less, right? And there my telling her if she didn't check that. So when she told me that, I said, you know what? It's the pension. I said the difference in the age. So, and I was willing to leave there if she didn't tell me that, to maybe call Terri-Ann and complain and say, God, things going up.
But you did call me and complain.
Things going up. And I'm sure you would have experienced things like that. Everything seemed to have gone up. I went to visit the doctor though. Now when she gave me the price, but she hasn't gone up at all.
Doctor charging $300 or $400 now.
To me, it's less.
And you get the senior citizens.
Let me tell you, it's more to do your nails, to do the acrylic and thing, than to see the doctor. So let's be real.
No, to do my braids is more than to go and see a specialist.
Yeah. So, and I'm sharing this because the budget comes now.
But wait, before you go to the budget, let me put another layer of context on what Jennifer's problem with her glasses is. So Jennifer is bemoaning the fact that, oh God, I can't get the glasses I want. Oh gosh, I have to deal with my pension. But You all remember where Jennifer money went? Anybody remember what Jennifer waste her money on? Jennifer, what did you do with
You
all your
know,
money?
and the
Your
investment,
house.
the investment, but listen, you want to do everything. You feel you can do, because
You
remember,
want to eat your
we
cake
were
and
doing
have
it
two.
before when you're working, and you
Yes.
say you're gonna do this because you know money coming in,
Mhm.
right? But if you decided to make whether it's a big purchase, whether it's invest, whatever, you really expect to continue living the same quality of life. It don't work so unless you have a real money, real money, you know, and still you check yourself. Something
Jennifer,
have to no,
before
you
we
people
can
say
go on,
something have to give.
I will give you somebody said something to me the other day, and I had to, and this is a real thing, and it may affect some
Yeah.
of you, because people know that what I've been handling with my
Yeah.
family and stuff like that. And all right, we have finally passed on the family home to a cousin. Yes, it was sold. You know, the other day somebody tell me, but you have money.
Yeah.
But you have money. And I'm saying, where did I get money from?
Mm.
Oh, you just, and I had to tell that person, I said, my father is going to live for at
Yeah.
least another 8 years. Do you know the money that we get for that will barely cover that cost, and it carries no provision for emergency, for health, or for nothing? If I take God out of my thoughts and feel that I
You could
have money
splurge.
and I could spend
That
his
is
money,
what is not yours.
what is
Yes.
not mine, and there is an emergency 2 or 3 or 4 years down the road, I will have to do like you and go in the pension reserve. And
I am telling you. But coming back, so when I can't do the things, when we cannot do the things to live the quality life we want, to lime and eat and do the things we want, we had to blame somebody. Yeah? So when the budget come out, before we listen carefully, we start to complain. Oh, good, everything going up now. You know, and this is what we hear, right? So when the person calls to say their pension, and say, God, I don't know how I'll make out now because medication going up and this going up. And I'm listening. We know the budget is not finalized yet, just so nothing shifting, nothing going up, no up or down or cross.
And there's no policy or plan to do it.
And when I listening, oh, that was the other complaint, you know, to turn into retirees and say, oh, good, and the pension ain't gone up at all. Then give us nothing in the budget for seniors, you know. And you know what we want? We want to continue living a great life. So we want something in the budget to say, well, give us a little extra, a little thousand, so we could, you know what I
To
mean?
do what with?
I mean, to enjoy life. Because at this stage, we really is to enjoy life. So let's be serious about what really happened in the budget and ask yourself, and as we chat, did it really affect you that much in any way at all?
Yeah.
For us to say it was a terrible budget, or even if it was a good budget, did it affect you at all?
No.
You know?
You know, if we break down the real facts, 4 things happened in our budget.
Okay.
4 things. The minimum wage got increased from 1750 to 2050.
Okay, well, we didn't fall into that category.
But people say, oh my God, price is going to increase. But let's pull up a bit. The Supermarket Association, the Manufacturers Association, Contractors Association, all of them say nobody in their employment ranks earning less than $20.50. So the increase in minimum wage is not going to significantly affect that. It will probably affect
maybe those of us who may have
part-time work and stuff like that, workers who
yeah.
come in like at your domestic help. And if you were under minimum wage, it's
Well,
calculated.
my gardener, well, the person who helps with the garden definitely above that minimum wage. So
our new minimum wage, that means that you are working for $3,500 a month. So if you have been paying someone below $3,500 a month, that means you would have been paying them like $2,800 or $2,900 a month before. to catch a little. But
And that's
really,
more permanent, that's not those part-time.
yeah,
workers.
that's like gig jobs and stuff like that.
Yes.
All right. Even the KFC driver getting $10 a delivery. If he make 2 delivery for the night,
I'm telling
he
you.
passed he passed the minimum wage. So minimum wage is not a factor. The next thing they say, they pushing the retirement age to 65 for NIS purposes. We already get an NIS. I mean, for the 50, for you all who are 50 to 60, well, you got to
Those of
contribute
us who
some more.
already crossed that, it's not affecting. But what it does do, even the awareness for those who are that 50 can plan differently.
Exactly. You have
Because
all
you're
types of
aware
plans.
this is coming. So you would know you could put things in place.
Yes.
You know.
And Jennifer, we know we do retirement workshops with companies, and many companies bring us in within 6 months, 5 months of their staff retiring, and that is the first time people are seeing what their
What
pension
they're going to
is.
get. Yeah.
Nobody's pension is even half of their final salary. So if you know you have 5 years extra to work, we're talking about the 50 to 60s now.
Yeah.
Find out what your position is and
But
start
you know
to
what is
organize.
interesting, Terri-Ann, with that argument? Many people who get to 60 want to go beyond, you know.
Yeah.
They're asking the company to keep them on because they're not ready yet. They didn't prepare at 60. You know? So going to 65 comes like, this is what they wanted to do.
Yeah. And you all better be careful you don't have some young person watching your cross-eye and looking to you're blocking them. You're really so the increase in the retirement age does not cause us to panic.
No.
Then they have said they are going to implement property tax. For those of us who are homeowners, the average property tax is going to be between $1,000 and $1,500 or so
A year.
a year.
You know, when the Minister of Finance, we broke it down. And
Ah,
when they
yeah.
compare it to buying dinners or something like that, a month when they work it on a monthly basis. But still, again, we understand how is that really affecting in any grand way. But if you look at the other side of it, why property tax and how it will help
Is your
in
services?
terms of services and your contribution to that, really is no reason for you to just come, especially if they are going ahead with it. Then if you're going ahead with it, it's just stressing yourself out by complaining. What we need to do is examine our situation and see, okay, how am I going to
And
fit
then
this
when
in?
you grumble philosophically about property tax, your son, your daughter, your nana, and your niece, your brother, who happily in Canada or New York or Europe or wherever it is, you pay taxes. So let's behave ourselves. And finally, there is the plan to cause us to pay for our usage of water by metering and to pay for lights. As they say, we are the cheapest in the Caribbean in terms of water rates, and I think we are second to last for electricity rates.
But Terri-Ann, you know, nobody wants to pay anything more.
But you want water, you want water, and you want light.
Actually, recently, today, they had a big in one of their districts, big protests about water, no water for 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's Granville and the Carters.
And it wasn't the
It's like
phone.
that,
Yeah.
yes.
And I was saying, yes, I know how uncomfortable it is. But when you look at what had been done prior and why no water? Why no water? It's not because I don't want to give you water. Why? I think it would be a real more protest if you have to pay for water, electricity. We don't want to pay, actually, we don't want to pay for anything. No more. We don't want to pay more for anything.
Because we're
Terri-Ann.
not accustomed paying for anything in Trinidad.
Yeah.
You walk into the hospital and you get top flight care. It is free. People don't drop dead every day. It is free. You have babies there. You have surgery
Yeah.
there. It is
Yeah, but
free.
what is highlighted is not that.
You
And
have
I'm telling you,
security. It is free.
I
You go
am
to school.
telling you,
Primary
at
school children are educated. It is free. So why we must pay
our
for lights and
stage in
water?
life where you're stretching your
Why
dollar,
we must pay for lights and water?
I really don't want to pay for anything. But we have to be real, we have to be realistic. And I think, Terri-Ann, we definitely have to start examining ourselves. And those of us who started to panic, and I will say from listening to the areas that people were talking about that really they
Yeah.
panic and have great concern. One was health. You say, oh God, everything gone up, they won't be able to buy the medication, etc., etc. If you check yourself, I use medication, daily, and hasn't gone anywhere.
You see that?
But the other thing is, you do have an alternative, huh?
Yeah.
So we can always revisit our doctors to look at if there's an alternative. If in fact, right, and something that have nothing to do with the budget, is the external factors. It will be important. I mean, medication is important. And I was speaking with a friend who based in the States, also hypertensive. And medication is high. They're not getting free anything. Right? And she has a health planner. She has a health plan. And a lot of things they query now, things that you used to get before they query. So the thing about it is, there's a saying that you have to release things that you have no control over.
Yeah. The serenity prayer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we need to re-examine to help with the panic issue. We need to examine exactly what areas that we are concerned about. If it's
or as the young people say, check on who chain in you.
Yeah.
What chain you reacting?
So it was really help because you find our health services in disarray. And you can't do this, you can't do that. Unfortunately, Terri and I lost two very good friends within the last year. Both of them had the best, not local by the way, went overseas to me, had the best health care, spent a lot of money, and unfortunately it didn't work out. I'm not talking about, actually they were both under 50. I'm just sharing this not to knock any foreign system or anything, but to say that we have to be careful what we buy into. Nothing is wrong if you don't want to use the public health system, but no, if you want to use the private health system, you have to have a medical plan in place. You can't not have a medical plan and complain about
it's expensive. The
public system is so and so, and I can't afford to go to a thing. No, it don't work so. That is within your plan, So we can't just knock and say, with the budget things going up, but say, okay, the budget has been read, it would have been finalized. Let's look at the areas that I am scared of and see what can I do. Personal, they talk about the personal responsibility. Yeah. So when it comes to health, I have already decided, Terri-Ann, I look at, yes, I have to do this, I have to manage my health. But guess what? I have to continue with the exercising and drinking water and all the things that will help.
You have
so
to do what you
I
have
won't
to
have
do.
to spend more money.
It's preventative care.
Yeah. So you see me going back to swimming because I feel that I don't want to just go into the aerobic. I want to be able to swim too, so I could use the facilities by me and do some swimming because I do a lot of walking and I believe the swimming will even help me better. So that's my health. It's not because I want to be,
But Jennifer, I want to give another story because we have lots of stories about the people who went away and rest their soul. They still passed. They have some who went away and they did well. Yeah. But there are thousands of people who every day go through our health system. I have the story of my 80-year-old aunt who had this growth in her stomach, was scared, terribly scared of the local health system. She doesn't want to go. And they went to the private hospital. just looking at her was $10,000.
Yeah.
And then the estimate for a 5-day stay was like $100,000.
Yes.
And they didn't touch her, didn't consider surgery, didn't consider anything. When they looked at it, they realized they'll have to sell a home or mortgage a house.
Yeah, and that's the reality.
She agreed eventually to go into good old General Hospital, got major surgery at 80,
Yeah.
got major surgery to deal with a bowel issue. Spent 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
From ICU to HDU to in the bed. And is now dancing and walking.
So that's what I say.
And
So
because we are
to-
accustomed not paying.
but you have to face reality. And as I said, if your choice, it's about choice. If your choice is not to use the public system, all well and good, but no, you have to put things in place. You must put things in place.
Don't make sure you can afford the choices that
Yeah,
you make. I think that is
yes. I think that's a good way
make
to put
sure
it.
you can afford the choices that you make, because a lot of people are grumbling and complaining about, like, we in the world
Mhm.
it's tougher. Everywhere is tougher. Whether it's climate change, you have people in some countries, they can't get water. But for us in our economy, we know it is tougher. Jennifer, a little bit of statistics. I was looking at one of the reviews, and Dr. Marlene Nats, one of the UE economists, and she's very good at breaking things down. Before the pandemic, don't let's get too far.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic, let's say 2019, our food import bill was $5 billion. You know, last year it was $17 billion, 7 billion. What are we importing? So,
And
what we eating?
Terri-Ann, you were saying that, and it's good statistics, but guess what? Many of us not even aware. We don't even, as they say, we don't go there.
Well, let me break it down in another way.
You know?
When we complain that, oh gosh, food's so expensive, what are we spending money on? No, I am not against any business owner for making an investment and getting a good return. But you see all the franchise restaurants that we pack up, whether it is for chicken, for pizza, for burgers, for coffee, for donuts, for ice cream slushies, for cinnamon rolls, whatever it is. Listen, every dollar we spend there, 40 cents have to go by somebody for royalties.
You know.
And when having that as our basic requirements, and when our children cannot do without that, we
you know, you say our children, but not our children alone. Let me tell you.
We buying the $30 cup of coffee.
Some of us, we must on a morning, wherever they go, listen to me, it could be to drop off your children. I am talking of Asia, dropping off, and then you could take the coffee, but somewhere along the line, I wonder sometimes, and I'm not saying it in any way, but you wonder sometimes if it's a status symbol when you're holding the cup.
It has a local one too, right?
Yeah.
It has a local one too, but that local one importing everything, including the artificial flavors that they flavor.
So the thing about it, Terri-Ann.
So what is this? What is this?
If this is my taste and I like it, I want to continue enjoying it. That's okay, you know.
okay.
Like I really can't blame the budget about it. What I have to do maybe, if I may have it every morning, I may look at, okay, let me cut down to maybe 3 days a week or a weekend.
Or if you have to cut down, then if you want it every day a week, then stop buying clothes.
Yeah, you shift, which is what I do.
Or buy a cheaper car.
If I buy something or I say splurge. Long ago I meant splurge, but now everything is. Anytime I go a little at a certain price, I'm splurging. But if I know I splurge on something, maybe an extra special meal, I do buy food. I will skip the next day.
For a
December.
family of one,
Of one,
it is
and-
more
and not-
economical.
And I'm not cooking.
Exactly.
And I'm
so-
buying food and
and
cooking.
cooking. So you
Yeah.
don't have a grocery bill. So
Plus, I must admit, not any and everything I would eat because I watching
Exactly.
again health.
you don't go by
So
the
it have-
franchise people, you go by the
No.
food court.
Yeah, and choose certain things.
It's a
So I
different-
must say, you won't get me very rare. And if you see me in one of those fast food lines like the Kentucky or the pizza and all that, no, maybe not even because my
It's
grandchildren
really-
tend not to splurge. Interesting. They are not brought up too much on the
Yeah.
fast food.
It's convenience,
But
and
it- but
convenience
yeah.
means it's
So
convenience is
my
bad.
thing is, it's a matter of choice, Terri-Ann. So if I choose to do this, then yes, you have to cut back on certain things, and you cannot say because of the economy. This is how the economy is. This is it. This is it. We cannot change the price of the oil. We can't.
can't change the
Government
price of
can't
oil.
say.
You can't change the
It's
price of
fair.
gas, and the fact of the matter
Yeah.
is that our production is going down, so the government has less money. The subsidies cannot continue. So whatever you have, you make your choices.
But
With
Terri-Ann, you know what I feel too,
Mhm.
and I could be also as guilty. The awareness. Okay, you
Mhm.
just get some statistics.
Mhm.
I didn't know that statistics. I am aware, yes,
Mhm.
things has gone on,
Mhm.
but I also remember, I think it's a year or so ago, when the government, when they had the same pattern was the after budget too,
Mhm.
and they had decided that a lot of imported foods and imported stuff, some would no longer, you would no longer see it on the shelf.
Or would be zero rated. They took the
Yes.
zero rated off. They put back
And
on apples
I remember that. And recently,
and strawberries. They put back on it.
but strawberries seem to be the in thing for these young people.
And they say apples are easier to
Really?
put into the lunch kits, and it's easier to handle than mango
Well,
and
let me tell
watermelon
you,
and pineapple.
And I could tell you about the strawberries too, because they have the chocolate covered strawberries. Well, that they want in the lunch. Chocolate covered strawberries. And I say, give me a break. So we have to be aware, because we may not be buying it for ourselves, but we have to look at how we encouraging
Yeah.
the
You know?
younger ones in that,
Yeah. A point was made, and to be fair, people are being encouraged to be entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
All right, get into your own business. And it is a very high risk proposition to start a manufacturing thing. It's very easy to source something abroad, import
yeah.
it, put a markup, and start a business like that. And most people do. But I think for our cohorts who are on fixed incomes, when we and I say this because
Yeah.
this is part of our economy. We are oil and gas economy. It has so much oil in the ground, it has so much gas in the ground. Ours ready to finish. Other plate Guyana's has started. So the source of the money that carried us is going down.
Mhm.
So increasingly, we're not having as much foreign exchange, which makes any little business you try to do more. We're not going to talk about
Yes.
the phone choices. We're not going to talk about the kind of fish we want to eat, the kind of bread we want to eat. I don't know what Hawaiian King's Rose doing in our stores, but it's okay. There's somebody who wants it, and that's fine. But when we realize that our income cannot do what it did 5 years ago,
Stretch anymore.
or 10 years ago, or even 3 years ago,
Yeah.
we cannot. You could quarrel with Mr. Imbert as much as you want. You could quarrel with Dr. Rowley, and you could quarrel with Mrs. Passandi Sessa, all you want. But your fridge and your food cupboard is your business. Your grocery cart is your business. The way you go and decide to dress yourself, fix your hair, what kind of accessories you use, all those are personal choices. And if nails are very, very important, at $50 a nail or $100 a nail, no problem. But if you have fixed income, something is going to switch some way.
Yeah.
And I think for some of us, we are becoming anxious, we becoming nervous, we doing all kinds of things because at core we know things have to change. And Jennifer, I feel we just frightened and don't know what has to change.
No,
We don't know what to
it's
give up.
upsetting because it's really upsetting because you say, okay, at this stage, it's simple, you know, it's simple. You want, we accustomed looking good. You like to dress up, for those who like to dress up. I don't sure if clothes gone up, you know, I tell you, for me, everything has gone up. But we have to look to see now, like for me, okay, so I like my cupboard going and I like to see clothes and accessories and things like that. Terri-Ann, I can't tell you, before the pandemic,
But
I
you have
have been
plenty
shopping.
nice things. But
So what
you have a
do,
good stock.
what you do is you adjust accordingly. You know, certain things, you know, and what I do actually, I would say this week if I wear this, when I wash it, I'm not putting it in this section of the cupboard. I'm putting it in the next section. So when
And
you
get a
see me,
rest,
it
and get a
yeah, and
rest.
it look like plenty clothes. But you feel good also, eh? You also feel good. So there are certain things you could adjust in terms of you remain with your style. So we're not change. You don't have to change your style. And this goes for men and women too. You don't have to change your style, but you could adjust in a way and be, you know, flexible and still look good. And let me tell you something, and I was sharing with you earlier. Because one of our complaints too is the price of food. Food price is ridiculous. This is what you hear all the time.
Yeah.
And just now our pension are going up, so we can't do anything, etc., etc. When it comes into the food, Terri-Ann, and you say you must eat, so we're not going there. But there are certain aspects of them in terms of the grocery that when you check it out, it's cost, you know. You see, at our stage in life, you see toiletries, let me tell you something. I swear it doubles as you get older. There are things you didn't need or you didn't buy before, and depending on the age you are. Remember, we say in 50 to 80. So in the earlys, maybe 50, under 60 may not increase as much, but I'm telling you, when you cross that 60, toiletries increase. You're using up more tissues. You're somewhere along the line. Now let me laugh. You see these with this heat? Oh geez. Oh gosh, you're changing clothes. What you're doing is like it's something else. So what we need to look at, and we may not be aware of that, Terri-Ann. I'm telling you, when your money short, you're checking everything, right? So I became aware of that with toiletries and certain things I'm buying, and I say, but I didn't used to buy that before, or not as many tubes. So let me tell you a simple thing. I swear I'm home. My hands soap. I don't know. It's me. I can't understand how much finishing so far. I always wash it because I'm very finicky now about things. So look at things. I was speaking with a friend, and these are simple
Let me
things.
tell you, see household cleaners?
Well, that is how
You see that section of the grocery.
Yeah. So we look at the things that you may not pay attention. You may just talk about food. So whether you're buying too much meat, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the other things. Simple, and I was sharing with Terri-Ann. You know, I normally would buy Ziploc bags because I find it easy. So then I put it in. And by the time I take it out, whatever in it, and I throw the bag, I ain't washing it.
You don't wash the bag?
No, I didn't. I'm telling you, when I'm working and I'm making groceries,
Yeah,
I'm studying about washing bag. No. Now, depending on what was it you wash, and you may use it, reuse it for something else. It may not be a thing.
Part of your meal planning and prep. So Jennifer,
So
let me put a thing with Ziploc bags. The first thing that goes into the Ziploc bag is vegetables, because you just cut and blanch your vegetables.
I know.
And then when it's finished, then you can put something with a little fat content in it. And then when you use that, the third use is the Ziploc bag is seasoned meat. Now after the seasoned meat going back, you have to throw away the bag.
Listen to me. So I'm sharing with you. I used to dump it because you're finished with it. Now,
After vegetables.
but I'm going a little further now. So I'm with a friend in the grocery and I'm picking up my Ziploc. And she said, "You still buying those?" And I say, "Yes, because I find it's convenient." She said, "No, she's by
The plastic bag.
plastic
normal
bag."
food
And
bag.
I am saying, but the material, she said, "No difference in no material. It's a plastic package instead." So I switch from a Ziploc. I'm missing the Ziploc, but I switch. But what I'm saying is there are things you can do. The other thing, again, because Massey no longer gives so much of the plastic bags,
Mhm.
depending on your grocery, depending on your shopping, you use the bags as garbage bags.
Yeah,
They have the small bins and
that
things.
has been going
Some
on for a
people
while.
don't do it still. They
Mhm.
buy the small, I tell you what I used to do long time because they dump, but so it have things do. You know your shopping, you know what you do. It may sound simple, but let me tell you, when you add up, check your grocery list. And we could hold Terri-Ann, sometimes you look, you already have that, and you buy more. And you're talking about cleaning items, let me tell you.
Work with a grocery list. You have to do a shopping list. If
Yeah.
you don't, I'll tell you, as somebody who used to work in retail, you go into the grocery without a shopping list, man, they're happy to see you. They're
And
happy to see you.
before you make that grocery, go back to the grocery, check your cupboard now. Check your cupboard.
Mhm. But you know the thing about it is that, and we understand that some of us, like yourself, you're a single person, and if you have a family,
Oh yeah.
if you have a family, you really do. And these are not new things, and these are things that we know. But you know, for a lot of us, we never that kind of advice was for the other
Yeah,
people.
but you know what happened?
It was for other
We
people,
know it,
not just
but
for you.
after the budget somehow like it going through the window.
No.
And we suddenly realize, oh shucks, things may go up.
But I don't want to
Yeah.
use the budget as a thing for this. A lot of us is part of the second act mentality. When we were there and we had this flow, this salary that was coming in every month, and salary met salary. So you always had a little 2,000 when the other salary come. And there are some of us who were there, and you get a little overflow and an overflow. And then you realize we have some dollars. Let me go Tobago. Let me go. And now I have none of that. So this kind of advice was stuff to the other people. To the other people. This washing Ziploc bag and using it 3 times.
I'm in that
It's
category
other
right
people.
now.
We are there now. And I think for a lot of us, we are it is a grieving period, Jennifer, because our generation, we work so hard.
We
work-
we had to face reality
I
of the
grieve it.
situation.
I grieve
just
it.
laugh.
I grieve
And I
it.
realized that I reached this stage.
Let me give you a story. Let me give you a story about these adult children. And I'm going to use my darling son, the one who don't watch the show, so I could use this story. So I am trying to enforce some fiscal discipline. So we've come to agreement. You have to save. You have money and you have a salary. Thank God you have a job. You have to save. So the one who looks at the show saves. He doesn't have a problem. So I said I had an account that I had for my brother. So I have a joint account with him. So I say, I'm going to arrange to take a certain amount of money from your account every month, setting up a standing order. Look at it. Yes, mommy, yes. Good. 1 month, one payment went. Mommy, Anita, this is what you telling me that for. We gotta use the savings. I said, boy, use the rest of your money. Make an adjustment. I'm not giving you the money. And what he wants? Some frivolous thing for some gift.
No,
And
but it's
one month. So I have to say to myself, and this is not a necessity. This is something for some. He's into flight simulation and stuff, and he wants to upgrade some plane. I have to ask myself, what did I teach that boy?
No, but you're not being fair.
What did I teach that boy?
I don't agree with you.
1 month he saved.
I don't see why you want, and I'm thinking in terms of her, why you want to manage my money.
No,
This-
he asked me to do it. He asked me to do it.
Well, let me realize now.
And
It
he
was-
made, he made
Wasn't
me,
such a good
he
idea.
made me promise. And the reason that it's going automatically is that, and it's coming from
You know,
source,
but
first 30 months. But he come very, very humble. Mommy, we can't use that money.
But you know, that's a
Adjust.
perfect example to show. If you know your weak area, you know, you say you need an accountability partner
Yes.
in different ways.
And you know, he ain't getting that
Because-
money.
If we don't have that, and we adults, we do it also. You know, in some situations, some people may have a spouse and the spouse will say, you in charge of this, or the
Yes.
spouse may be in
Yes.
charge of that.
Yeah.
It is because we all different, and that coming back, Terri-Ann, we have to know ourselves.
Yeah.
Some people cannot. I could window shop easy. I could go through a mall and go in every store and come out and not buy anything. Not everybody could do that.
I could do that if I'm by myself. If I'm with my girlfriend here, so oh God, no.
No, I could do that. I could be serious, and I could be with like Terri-Ann, and she could be buying the best of things. And I could say, see that, I'm not doing it because my budget doesn't come for that. Not everybody could do that.
Yeah.
So that is a great idea when he has, and then when you come for it and you explain to him, well, if I go in and give you that, then
What's the point?
what's the point?
It's 1 month.
So we need to really examine ourselves. I'm glad you brought up that example because it reminds us, and it's not to do with age. Because let me tell you, actually, the older you are, the worse the habit. Because if for years you had that habit of spending in a
We are
certain way,
spoiled, and we've not demonstrated. We have not demonstrated sacrifice to our children, and we have demonstrated. We have not demonstrated delayed gratification to our children. We've not done it, and now we are having a difficulty adjusting. And our children who are adults and who have children now
Yeah.
are looking at us and still not seeing an example of how to tighten a belt and how to go on and be happy in spite of.
So
I think that's the danger of us, the budget and the government. I think that is the danger.
listen, my suggestion is for us to really forget the budget. When I say forget, the budget is there.
Forget it, it's not
Understand
affecting
it though, Terri-Ann,
you. It's not
because I
affecting
believe
you.
a lot of the panicking and concern is because we are not understanding exactly the different, the workings of the budget.
We're not understanding, and Jennifer also, we're not admitting that the commentators we're listening to pushing their own agendas.
Well, yes, they all will, but we
But
could,
we need to discern.
we need, yeah.
Because sometimes they're saying stuff that's convenient for us and we bind into it. But we need to really discern and say, is their story really my story? And should it make me unhappy?
So the bottom line with all this is we are individuals, we like certain things. We want to continue enjoying life in a certain way. And I think we should
The budget doesn't do
continue.
anything to stop that.
Yeah, we should continue on the path. We shouldn't come off that path. We could review, and it's always good to review. From very early, you review your goals, you review your plans, and look at whatever happening now. How can we adjust? One goal, my goal is to enjoy life. You know, still be able to buy something here and there. But no, it calls a little sacrifice, and I am not in a position. I have friends who are in that position to continue enjoying that life, like Terri-Ann. I have to face reality.
Next week I'll give you all my key, my success.
But I must admit too that what it does to me is that motivation, and we support each other. You know, I have a friend and say, okay, Jennifer, you like going out to do something, and they could afford at that time. Say, okay, I'll buy a ticket for you, but I will do the same in another situation.
Yeah.
So we all enjoy in our lives. So it's not to say, well, this one could afford it and I can't afford it. No, you adjust your life to suit. to make you happy in the way you want to be.
And I'll
Budget
tell
or
you,
no budget.
and I'll
Yeah.
tell you one thing. There is really, when you come down to brass tacks,
Mm.
unless you really like to have a new dress every time,
Yeah.
or to have, there is really nothing to stop you from still enjoying the things
I
that
agree.
you love.
Oh yeah.
There is really, you might be able to do it every week, every month, whatever it is, but really, with a little bit of sober thought and planning, you could still
Yeah.
have a pretty good time. So ease up, Mr. Imbert and Dr. Rowley and the budget. And
Yeah.
people with the union leaders have their story. Mrs. Bissessa has a story. Mr. Imbert has his job. But we all have to manage our economies, and really your economy is your house. But in your
And let me
cupboard.
tell you a secret. In spite of all that, I got a new dress.
And a new bag.
I got a new dress. I'm gonna tell you how I got that new dress, but I have a beautiful dress to wear.
They have a
and
new
then-
bag.
And I'll wear it for our Christmas function, which we'll tell you all about. And wow.
So you're,
And oh yes, and sandals. Wow.
you're Vanilla True?
I have beautiful friends. I was just gifted a beautiful sandals, and the dress was prepaid. I just paid back for it.
Anyway, that has been Dollar Savvy. We coming back just now to talk about the next social event. So Jennifer, when everybody, listen, stop saying woe is me. You eaten, you have clothes, you have shelter, and we still have to be happy and joyful.
And Christmas coming, and
It's
we
coming.
love Christmas.
Christmas is coming, and we are planning now. What I have to say is the response to our
Road trip,
Southwest
yeah.
road trip. People are looking at the pictures on Facebook, and people are like, "Oh my God, I want to be on that. This bus, this, and the other." Well, Christmas is the other big time for us, and we are having a great time.
Yeah.
We will tell you, first of all, where the party is going to be, and that will just give you a hint as to what will happen. So, Jennifer, where are we going for our Christmas?
Where we
event?
going, Kaiser Blues? Imagine. Listen, we reach. We were looking actually for a venue that is suitable for us. You know, we look at all different aspects. We look at safety, we look at space, we look at ambience. And we have been looking at other options, but we thought this option was the best in terms of the convenience, the
Mhm.
parking, the whole ambience, the everything, and we negotiating. I don't know. We will tell you more as it comes. But first of all, it will be a Christmas brunch.
All we will say,
Christmas brunch.
save the date.
And yeah,
November 12th, Diwali date, Diwali holiday.
that's a Sunday, yeah?
So Sunday, Monday is a holiday. To our Hindu brothers and sisters, we will have another little celebration. We understand you might not be able to attend on this day, but because getting venues is hard.
And suitable
So,
venues, right?
suitable.
Because we really want to have
Yes.
it really nice.
So
And for you all to come out. And as I said, we are looking at a Christmas brunch. We thought that would be just
yes,
fantastic.
so it's going to be a party. We hope, cross fingers, to have live music.
Parang, parang, parang.
Kaiso, kaiso, kaiso. Dancing, dancing, dancing. And of course, it's don't worry. The food is going to be
Lots of it.
amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So for now, mark the date, the 12th of November, Sunday, the 12th of November, Diwali Day. The Monday is the holiday. And it's brunch time at the Kaiso Blues. So we are in the midst of sorting out details, and we're going to get more information later. But all we could say is put on your dancing shoes, get ready to come and meet a
And do like
lot
me.
more people.
And then put on your dress. Get it till the time. Or put on your outfit. Man, you pay if you have to pay.
Put on your
I'm
dress.
being straight. I pay down, so I got it bought. I think I pay off.
Pay down on the dress.
I pay off this month. I have dress.
Oh, go and look in your cupboard and put the dress
At
out
least
to
you could do a
sun.
lot of adjustments, you know, because
Yes.
last time I was able to adjust an outfit I had that I wore once and something went wrong. I don't know what, but I got a really nice, I got the dressmaker to do an adjustment for it. So yeah, you can do
Anyway.
that. You don't have to spend a cent into
So
it.
you all just know that the 12th of November, Connections 50 Plus is celebrating Christmas at the Kaiso
Yes.
Blues Club on Rice Road. It's accessible. It's brunch. So brunch starting in the morning and ending in the evening. So everybody have enough time to reach home in daylight.
Mhm.
Nobody going to be worried about anything. You have taxi, maxi, bus, car. You're reaching back home before the sun sets. Everything will be safe and fine. And we are going to have a rollicking good time to close off our activities for the year. And really going to you think we should have what is it? Secret Santa, Secret Angel, or something? We should have
Yes,
a gift
planning to do,
exchange.
you know, she like
We
to
should have a little. Yeah, man. All right, let's
next
join the
show,
WhatsApp
next
group.
show we will tell you and make some
In
suggestions.
the WhatsApp group, we're going to do Secret Santa and we'll do the gift exchange in the party. Yes. All right.
We'll
Good.
give you more details by next week. Yeah, get all the details.
So don't worry about the budget. Don't worry about stuff. Get prepared. The 12th of November, you're coming and we're having fun. So our time is done. And Jennifer and I are going to continue this line. We don't long time together anyway. Bye.
50 Plus Tribe and follow us from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye
Bye
for
for
now.
now.